Long ago in the country of Syria, there lived a rich and powerful warrior named Naaman. General of vast armies, he won every battle he fought. He had wealth, he had fame, but he also had leprosy. A terrible disease like chickenpox, only 1,000 times worse. It crippled his hands and feet. It covered his face with sores, and every day it got worse and worse. You can just imagine how upsetting this was to his wife.
Yo-ho! Naomi, where are you? The girls and I have a new lotion for you to try.
No one cared more for the old general and his affliction than a young slave girl, a maid from Israel who had been captured in one of Naaman's many battles. Although she was merely a servant to Mrs. Naaman, one of the many in their house, she above all others tried to bring him comfort. One day, she suggested that he return to her homeland.
Master, there is a prophet in my homeland, Israel, who I think can cure you of your disease. His name is Elisha, and he does miraculous things in the name of our God.
What? I, a rich and powerful warrior, should take advice from a servant?
I think our God would help you if you would let him. You remember my Uncle Mordecai's lumbago? God cured it just like that, from your lips to God's ears. And you remember my Aunt Sophie's halitosis? And even the boil on Cousin Moni's backside?
Rob! Who do you think you are? You're just slaves.
Let's not get above ourselves, girls.
Naaman! Naaman! Listen for us! He teaches the lowly, not just the mighty.
But I am Naaman, the general. I give orders. I don't take them.
Naaman! Naaman! Listen for God's voice. He speaks to the lowly, not just the mighty.
Moved by the slave girl's concern, Naaman decided he would visit the prophet Elisha. But first, he and his lieutenants had to visit the king of Syria to ask permission.
Israel, eh? Are you sure? That nation's full of dolts, ruled by a crackpot. But if you must go, you mustn't go empty-handed.
And so the Syrian king agreed and gave him gifts to take to the king of Israel: gold, silver, fine clothes, and a message for the king. As Naaman and his lieutenants departed for Israel, the servants sang a song of farewell.
Farewell, farewell, you're off to Israel. A mighty prophet for to see, if he can cure your leprosy. So we say farewell. With gifts of silk and gold in hand, we set off with your merry band to seek a sage in a foreign land. And so we say farewell, farewell, you're off to Israel. Elisha and his God, of course, cleanse you of your ugly sores. So we say farewell.
Arriving in Israel, Naaman and his troops presented themselves at the king's door. After presenting their gifts to the king, they made their request.
On behalf of my king, the king of Syria,
We request that you cure Commander Naaman of his leprosy.
Am I a god with the power to bring life or death? Did I get orders to cure this man from his disease? What's going on here? Your king is trying to pick a fight. That's what.
No, Your Majesty, we come in peace. The Israelite slave girl told us of a holy man, Elisha. She said that Elisha could cure General Naaman.
Elisha? That nutty old gas bag. For all means, go to Elisha's house and seek God's cure of your leprosy.
Rebuked by the king, the wary general made his way to Elisha's house.
We seek Elijah, prophet of the one true God of Israel, to cure our master's leprosy.
Elisha isn't here. I am his servant. Elisha said to go to the Jordan River and wash yourself 7 times. If you do this, you will be cured.
The Jordan River? Who would take a bath in that muddy hot water?
Elisha sends a servant instead of coming himself. What am I, chopped liver? I am Naaman, the commander of the Syrian army.
Naaman, Naaman, listen for God's voice. He speaks to the lowly, not just the mighty.
But I thought Elisha himself would call on his guard, wave his hand over me, and cure me. I've come all this way to jump in a river?
But, sir, if the prophet told you to do some hard, heroic thing, wouldn't you have done it? It's such a simple thing to wash in the river. Why not try?
Grudgingly, Naaman went to the river and began to wash, but only one time.
Naaman, Naaman, listen for God's voice. He speaks to the lowly, not just the mighty.
His pride and began to do and did what Elisha told him to do. He bathed once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times.
Everybody knows it's good to dip your toes in the holy river Jordan. Take a dip or 7, it feels just like heaven in the holy river Jordan. Muddy water bubbles up to cleanse you like no other. God can clear your troubles up, but for Him we have no other. Everybody knows it's good to dip your toes in the holy river Jordan. Take a dip or 7, it feels just like heaven in the holy, muddy river Jordan.
At the end of the 7th dip in the At the end of his 7th dip in the Jordan, Naaman emerged from the water. To find himself completely cured. His skin was as clean as a little child's.
I have found the one true God.
And He speaks